All right. So, welcome to our 17th episode of Not an Island podcast. I'm Todd,
I'm Amanda.
and we're here with a good friend, new-ish friend, Leanne, and she is from Tyler Run for Autism. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I don't want to steal her thunder about what it
You're
is.
good.
It's got a
No.
really awesome story.
Yes.
But we met, well, earlier this year. We met in person. We talked over the phone a little bit before, and we got to visit and see what y'all are about this past April. And I've got to say, if you live, I'm going to say this probably multiple times in this episode,
Yes.
but if
We've
you live,
been talking about you even when you weren't on the episode because
Oh,
we were
man.
just so impressed.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
it's such a massive community of people gathering around families with special
Yes.
needs in Tyler, Texas. And so we want the world to know it.
Yes.
So I guess we'll just start with the first question. Right?
Yeah.
So real quick, just tell us about yourself and kind of your endeavors and then how you got involved with Tyler Run for Autism.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Leanne Cook, and I am a speech language pathologist. So I've been practicing in this area for a little over 18 years.
Okay.
I'm currently the clinical director for a company I'm really proud of. It's called Busybodies Pediatrics, and so we offer speech OTPT. So that's what I kind of do in my, my daily life. But I'm also on the board for the Tyler Run for Autism, which is a nonprofit that raises money to help provide kiddos access to medical services. And so we started, this is our 14th run this year.
Wow.
I know, we're so proud. And so we started 14 years ago, and with a heart, I guess, to help other families have access to ABA services,
Yes.
which is
Big deal.
Yes.
the U.S. Surgeon General, recommended treatment for autism. And so what we have found over the years where we started trying to provide access to care for ABA, once insurances started covering ABA services, because it didn't for a long time.
Right.
We were able to help with those deductibles and out-of-pocket maxes for
Man,
families.
come on.
And so it really helped them have access to medications, to doctor's appointments, to neurologists, to psychologists, to we had a mom who called one time and said, I was able to give my child seizure medications every day this year
wow.
because
Come on.
we were able
What?
to have that deductible. And if you live in the world of special needs, it's expensive.
Yes.
And so everyone meets their out-of-pocket maxes in March.
Yes.
And so
Yep.
we're able to kind of step in, help with that, and get those families the services they need. And while, we partner with ABA companies, it definitely reaches out and helps with speech, OTPT, and anything else,
Man.
that
Wow.
that kiddo would need. The other thing that we're super proud of as a board is that we are run 100% by volunteers.
Yeah.
And so we have our event, which is awesome. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. But we have our event, and so our sponsors cover the cost of the event. The community really shows out.
Yeah.
But anything that's made, there's no brick and mortar. Everybody's a volunteer. And so
Wow.
literally every cent that's donated goes directly to a family in
Come
East
on.
Texas to really help with that. So I feel like it's a very pure way
Yes.
to give money to the community and to the actual families in the community who need it,
Genuinely needed.
genuinely need it.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
incredible. Just as a family who has fought for every single therapy that our child has had, we've fought and clawed and tried to find ways. There's actually his insurance for his work. It excludes ABA specifically, and there's still that's still going on right
Which
now.
I'm sure you've come across a lot of businesses do this. I would say no shade, but honestly, businesses don't need to do this where they'll self-fund, which bypasses federal and state regulations so that they don't have to cover therapies that
Yeah.
are so needed.
It's
for
detrimental to
children.
families, and then also I know our area in specific in the Texarkana area is so underserviced, and I'm sure when you guys started
Yes.
those years ago, you were dealing with something very similar,
Yes.
and we've waited 3.5 years for our son to be an ABA full time, and he finally is under a grant. And so, this is huge,
It
what you
is.
guys are
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Huge.
It is.
Yeah.
And we are so like access to care.
Yes.
The kind of origin story of the run was there were these 3 moms who were all a force, and
For-
they wanted ABA for their kiddos.
Yeah.
And so they were taking their kids to Austin, Houston, and Dallas.
This is 14 years
Wow.
ago,
This is
too.
14 years ago.
Wow.
And so they were like, we should have a center here in Tyler. And so they did the legwork and found someone and contacted the Andrews Center, and they started up a program called the Treatment and Learning Center. And it is still one of the gold standard programs here today. And now we actually have had other providers come into the area. And so we have a lot of really wonderful quality ABA service providers here in town. And so it's just been so wonderful to see how, again, this nonprofit, this event that's kind of morphed into this, huge thing has really paved a way for kids to get access to services,
That
even just
is
with
incredible.
bringing, people here. So
And that's really what it's all about.
Yes.
Is, these kids getting the access that they
Mm-hmm.
not only just deserve, but need. A lot of children, like our own, there's so many children out there where services like that could make or break the child literally having a future in general society, in our general population, or not. And so that's a huge deal what y'all are doing. So how did you get involved, and how long ago?
I was voluntold.
Oh, well,
I
there's
would
that.
like that to go on the record.
On the record. Yes.
So the moms and our godmother Allison that were involved at one point in time. So they did not know this. It was kind of a full circle moment. All of their kids have been on my caseload as a speech therapist at one point in time. So when they all met each other, I was over the moon. I was like, yes, this great group of
Finally!
moms
Yes.
met each other. Well, lo and behold, I had a child with autism. And so we had an old policy that didn't cover ABA services. And so I remember in the first 6 months, Collins was diagnosed at 6 months old with a genetic disorder, and then it went on to get diagnosed as autism. And so within that 6-month period of us trying to figure out what's going on with her, she had these horrible seizures. We spent $76,000 in 6 months. And I remember thinking, this is not sustainable.
No.
Like nobody can make enough money to do this. And so, we were just shelling it out. Therapy, OT, PT, speech were not covered. They were coming in 3 times a week. So we were spending $1,500 a week in therapy.
Yeah.
And you do it because what else are you going to do? I mean,
What are your options?
Exactly. Like she needed it to have any type of quality of life, or some of it was life-saving procedures. And so, anyway, we had $10,000 left in our little bank account after it's all over when she turned 3. And I knew that I wanted her to have some ABA because I had seen such progress with the kiddos that I had worked with in the past. And so I applied for the Tyler Run for Autism, and they gave us a little bit of money to go towards, that $10,000 that we had. And she made incredible progress with with those few months of part-time ABA. But at that point, they all put together that they all knew me and that I had worked with their kids at different points in my career. Another mom had come on. I had worked with her child too. And so they were like, are you good now? Because we got an insurance policy that did help. And they were like, are you okay now? And I said, yes, we're fine. And they were like, great. You're on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tag, you're in.
Yeah, here you are. You're with us. And I was like, I did not consent to this.
Yeah.
But here we are, 9 years later, and so it's a good thing.
It's just amazing that you were there servicing their babies, and now, I mean, it's just, that's an amazing story.
And I'm sure the HIPAA laws and things don't allow you to be like, hey, all your kids.
I have permission. I have explicit permission from all of them
to
tell this story, and now they're all just people I do everyday life
Well, they're your
with.
friends, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they were the voices in my head. When you have to go to that place as a parent that's like, I miss being a person that people could like. You just have to go into that place of, okay, I have to be direct with you because this is what
Yes.
my kid needs.
Mhm.
And so this is what we're going to do, and this is what the law says you have to do. These were the moms whose voices were in my head because they were such strong advocates
Ugh.
for their
Having
kiddos.
people like that
Well,
in your corner
and
is
sometimes
everything.
sometimes you have to be the villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, to get
Yes.
to make sure your kid gets what they
Yes.
need.
Yes.
You know, and you know.
I always say you mess with the bull, you get the horns, because he comes through. You know, if I can't
Yeah.
get through, he's coming. And I know it's usually
I
the
don't-
moms,
I
you
don't
know,
like-
but
yeah.
I mean, I think like I have the nice demeanor, but it's like if you mess with me, he is coming for you,
Well,
because
people don't
when it comes to
know-
your kid, it's
Yep.
it's
Yep.
huge.
People don't realize there's two sides to me. There's
Mm-hmm.
Todd with the hat and the blue jean jacket, and then there's Staff Sergeant Johnson,
Yes.
Yeah.
which got out of the military,
Yes.
and sometimes he'll poke his head back in every now and then
Yes.
if he has to, and so.
But I feel like you somebody has to stand up for them.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And I'd rather it be us. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for sure.
Yes.
And it does take big shoulders to do what
Yes.
you do, to do what those
Yes.
moms do.
Yes.
And so you said it's morphed through the years. Y'all have gotten bigger and more sponsors, and
We have. So we started, it was, I think my understanding is I was not at the first run, but the first run was 100 people with just some water stops. It was, just maybe a 1 mile fun run. If I am telling the story wrong to all of my fellow board members, I am sorry.
there was some type of run.
Yeah, there was a run. People were there, and it made money.
Yes.
And so that money went to, I think, anyway, that money went to help kids
cool.
Wow.
get treatment. And then since then, it has grown. By the time I stepped in, I guess in 2019, it was a fully functioning
Thing.
life
Yeah.
of its own. So when they told me that they needed an additional board member, I don't run.
Same. If we're running, something is wrong over here.
Right. I'm not exactly the face of a marathon here.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's not like that. And so, unfortunately, my first year, 2019 was leading up to 2020. And so we had to do the virtual race. But 2021, we got to kind of start making our comeback. We actually did it in September. It was so hot of that year. But I got to see the vendors come together, which I think that's what sets our day apart. So there's wonderful 5 and 10Ks all around Tyler. The Fresh 15, oh my gosh. We have phenomenal runs in Tyler. What is special about ours is that people come, like serious runners. We do call you serious runners. Serious runners come and they run the course every year. But everyone runs our race because they have some form of personal connection
Come on.
I noticed that.
with a family.
Yeah.
And so it means something more to them than just setting a PR.
Yeah.
Apparently we have a hill at the very end that has its own name that I can't say on a podcast. And so anyway, we're kind of known for this hill, but I love it because I'm like, if there's a challenge in our course, think of the challenges that our kids go through. And so it's just, that you can do it. But where we are set apart and different is the vibes of the community coming together in our vendor area. We have face painting, we have Corn Pop the Clown, we have bounce houses and unicorns.
Unicorns.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is just
bubble houses.
yes,
and-
but everybody brings their A game. So everybody from the community who comes and is a supporter are amazing sponsors. Oh, Southside Bank. They set up a 3-booth extravaganza with video games and light brights and everything. It is
So
just
awesome.
Oh, it's so cool.
And there's a stage. I don't remember. Is there live? I couldn't remember if there's live music.
There's
or not.
not. We do have a cool DJ though. DJ
Yeah.
Mike. He's
Shout out DJ Mike.
Shout out DJ Mike. So he definitely sets the tone for everything. But they just come and they bring this energy of just it's a protected, amazing day because everyone there is there because they want to be there and they want to show love and support and acceptance for a community. And it's so weird because it's this big, loud, busy
Right.
event, which is the opposite of what you
A
want.
child with autism.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they come and the kids, they love it. They love the Kona
Yeah.
Ice.
Yes.
And they can kind of count. We count on the same people coming
Yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
year after year, and so they know what to expect. Their siblings come. They love it. Anyway, there are like definite strategies that kids
Yeah.
use where they're like, listen, we're gonna go to the face painters first, and then we're
They
gonna get
got
the
'em mapped.
and then we're gonna get the tacos. And anyway,
They have it planned out.
they
what they're
do.
Gonna do.
It's like going to Disney World, but
That's
it's here in
funny.
Tyler, Texas.
For one day.
For one day, yeah. But
Yeah.
it is a wonderful 3 hours that we couldn't do it without the community. The community definitely sets the tone for what that day has become and what it stands for. And then a message we're really trying to push out, people know us as this big event. What we're trying to show people now is the heart behind it, which is, again, every person that runs, all of that funding goes to help a family. You know what I mean? It doesn't get
Yes.
held up anywhere. It goes
Yeah.
directly to help a family.
More
And
than
so,
a run.
Yes, it's way more than a run. It does way more than a run. And so the event is awesome, but what we're able to do with
Out of
the
it,
love and
yeah.
support that comes from that event
It's a big
is where
deal.
the real magic happens.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing, and we
Yeah.
keep doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
You're like, maybe, when are we going to stop?
if you want to be on the Tyler Run for Autism board, this is a message.
Yeah.
We're looking.
You may be
Yeah.
voluntold.
Right, yeah.
But so how we kind of mentioned and you went into a little bit how the community is really drawn to it. Like, has that been a gradual thing every
Yes.
year? You've seen it grow and grow and grow?
Yes. So even, which I know that I came in, I think they had about 40 vendors, I think, before I came on.
Yeah.
And we had that, but it was a little bit smaller when we came back in after 2020, so in 2021. But now we're up to, we had 62 vendors last year.
That is so awesome.
Yes.
We were there.
Yeah,
Yes.
they count. So,
I know we should have put that in there because we've got to experience it.
Yeah,
I mean,
firsthand.
amazing. Yes.
We'll be there again too. So if you
Yes.
want to see us, show up.
I have to tell people who are coming for the first time, just come and see it, and then you'll be hooked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
That's so true.
Yes,
It really is. We love going through all the pictures of us being there. But we came and set up with our podcast, but we brought our kids. And Ezra, there's pictures of him petting bunnies. There's pictures of him petting horses. Like, he was having the
unicorn.
time of his life, and all for such an amazing cause.
Yeah.
Something so needed.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. And Todd's like, Amanda, I bought breakfast, but there's free food everywhere.
Yeah. I'm like, why did I even buy breakfast?
Like, everybody's just passing out food. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so awesome.
yes,
Love it.
it is. Taco Bell and McDonald's always make sure that we have everything.
Everything's
that we
set
need.
up.
Yes,
So
yes,
nice.
and the natural groceries always comes. I mean, we really do have the we really do
Yes,
have the
you
best.
guys do.
Yeah.
People, and again, I don't know if that's because they're tied to it. I mean, we try really hard to treat people well and be good to them and be someone where you want to come back. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, when I think of these businesses, I don't think of the businesses. I think of the names of the owners and the managers
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
who make the magic happen, because they are personally involved in making sure that everything goes off without a hitch.
I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say I saw a few organizations out there in full running.
Yes.
Like, they were like,
Yes.
hey, I'm assuming this
Yes.
this is probably how it went. The
Yeah.
owner is like, you're going. You're going to run.
I don't know. They
I
probably were
wish.
willing.
I wish that people had to be voluntold to go, but no, we have these massive groups. Like, Train always shows out with like 60 people. You can bet your bottom dollar that the Henry and Peters and the EMA runners are going to be there. Like, every year, they're going to come, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and we're just so thankful. And we do, everyone make sure we have really good swag too.
Yeah,
That's really
Y'all do
important.
have some legit stuff there.
We try.
Yeah.
That's all. We're always trying to, like, and Southside takes it like they're they want to have the best merch.
Yeah.
So they're always trying to be creative in,
Yeah.
you know, what they're going to bring to the table.
And you guys had incredible resources out there.
Yes.
Like we met and talked to people we'd never even heard of such resources. Like
Yes.
it was amazing.
It was really cool.
Yes.
I mean, even talking about swag, we went through $50 in Lays. You know, we give out Lays because
Yeah.
not an island, you know,
Yes.
Lays. So we give those things out. We probably went through $50 in like 30 minutes, just Lays.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody
yeah.
was just like
Get a
every
Lay.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's a culture that we definitely try to we always call and invite the people in the community that are serving our kids well. There was a particular dentist office that I was calling for like 2 or 3 years, I think, and I was like, "You've got to come," because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
so phenomenal. They're so
Yes.
phenomenal, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Please come, please come, please come." And so finally, we got them out there one year, and they were like, "Why didn't you tell us it was like this?"
It's
You
like,
know?
we've been telling you.
But yeah, if there's a local provider that, I mean, again, because we all have, you know, experience our kids being on the spectrum,
Yeah.
we're in the field, and so if there's a provider that's in town that offers something for the kids, we're like, can you come and meet all of our people?
Yeah.
And so our 3,000 people get to meet all of the
Vendors.
and
yeah.
yes, and the service providers. And so if there's any type of related service, you can bet, you know, that has a good
Yeah.
reputation in town, you can bet that I'm on the phone going, will you please come? Will you please
Yes.
come?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll buy you breakfast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So we definitely try and network everyone together. And we love for those providers to get to meet one another.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
that's important.
Yes, building that community.
That rapport, yeah.
There was the Kendra Gives Back comes every year, and so they a lot of times will use that as an opportunity to meet some of the other nonprofits. I mean, it just. I feel like I'm just name dropping, but I'm not intentionally doing it. I'm
Right.
just saying that it's really helpful.
It was a huge networking.
Yes.
We met so many people, like I said, and so many resources, and
Yeah.
and it was huge. I mean, we could have interviewed probably 30 people, and we probably still could. We got all those contacts just being there, and just seeing all the support in the Tyler area. It was just
Yes.
It's intense.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the heart of being there is not to promote themselves. The heart of being there
Yes.
is there was a particular pharmacy that they are there because they want to show, here are all the different things that we can do to
Yes.
make your life easier. You know what
And
I mean?
that's a huge
It's
thing.
a-
Medicine's a hard
Yeah.
thing to
Yes.
get. We have a local pharmacy, like a compounding pharmacy, and
Yes.
things that we've had to go through, and that's
Well,
a
and
big
two,
deal.
I think it's what I notice is it's less about, hey, we're quote unquote, you know, we're
Right.
whoever out here showing support. It's not like that.
Everybody's locking arms.
It's a
yeah.
full blown like solidarity thing.
Yes.
Yes.
It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It is my favorite day of the year.
Yeah. One of the more stressful days of the year.
No,
Really?
not at all. It's too
Too enjoyable,
good.
yeah.
Yes, and by the time you get there, you're just walking around saying hi to friends.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so it's like
The legwork's already done.
yeah,
at
the
that point.
legwork's
Yes.
done,
Yeah.
and you just get to go enjoy the party. You
That's
know,
cool.
Awesome.
yeah.
That's
Again,
cool.
that thank you to our vendors who,
Yeah, yeah.
who show up on time and do what they're supposed
Make
to do.
it happen.
And
Yeah.
yes,
So how I guess kind of answers its own question, but you've seen the community change. Like you've seen, like you said, you've seen services come into Tyler, Texas, which those of you who don't know much about Tyler, maybe because we have an audience from all over the world, Tyler, Texas has a lot of opportunities for people to come and learn as college students in the
Yes.
health fields. So it's really, really cool for them to be able to not only learn about these autism and things like that, but they can also get to practice it and then give back, because I will promise you, if you get into the field of autism or if you get into advocating, you don't want to stop. Like it becomes so important to you. And so Tyler really has it going on.
yeah,
They do. So
It's a good. Tyler is a large town, but it functions a lot like a small community.
Yes.
And so, but it has been neat to see places like APEC or like Code Ninjas or this variety. They open up classes that are tailored to neurodivergent or autistic individuals. And so that's been really neat to see. Like as they come and they meet one another, they're also learning how to open a program or include kids in a
Yes.
program, or hey, we may have something, like we've had some children with autism or autistic people who have come and they really enjoy this. Can we come and show you guys what we got? Yeah, come on.
Come on out, yeah.
So that's where we've seen it grow as far as acceptance and changing the community.
Yes.
Like people are looking for ways. Trampoline parks. Well, how can we have sensory hours?
Yeah.
You know,
That's amazing.
where people can come and what do we need to know about it? Who can we connect with?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
That is
great.
so awesome. I know this is a little off the cuff, but it just popped into my mind with adults or teenagers who are becoming adults.
Yes.
Those transitional
Yes.
years. If there's resources that come onto this,
Yes.
you know.
Yes, and so that's been something that we focused on heavily, especially as autistic individuals have spoken to us and kind of told us what they need. Ongoing support and inclusion and jobs and just places to hang out, like those are things that have come up. And then also caregivers of maybe kiddos who are not fully functional or indistinguishable from their peers or don't have their own voice, are like, okay, so what do I do with my kiddos so you don't experience complete caregiver fatigue?
Yeah.
So we have reached out to adult day habs
Yes.
in town.
Awesome.
Achieving Dreams, actually, we get to partner with them and they stuff our swag bags. So they're one of the adult
Wow.
day
Really?
habs. They're the coolest people ever. And so we get to wine and dine them, and they
That's
help
so
us
amazing.
stuff the swag bags, and we always send them home with a bunch of stuff. And
That's cool.
These day habs in places like that are
Yes.
blessing families
Yes.
so
Yeah.
hugely. That is
yes.
awesome.
And then there's other little day programs that are popping up, but it is trying to find resources where they can plug in, and if we find that someone's doing something well, then we definitely want to tell our families about it. And we've had, as we've kind of asked around, we've had more and more people reaching out to us, and it creates awareness that that's a need.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That there's
Yeah.
a need for, kids over the age of 10.
Yes.
For
What
sure.
are they going to do and how are they going to be involved when, when they have specific things that they like that maybe seem juvenile, but it's their, how do you,
Right.
It's-
how do
yeah.
you create
Have
acceptance
an outlet
for that?
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think that we're on a roll to helping with that, and that's definitely behind the mission, I guess, is to
Yeah.
expand that.
That's awesome.
Well, and that's something that's still like y'all on the forefront of that. Very much so the
really,
tip of
you
the
are.
spear. We don't find that a lot outside of bigger cities, and even bigger cities I haven't seen really. We're all trying to figure this
Yep.
thing out,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it seems like a very hard thing to really put your thumb on the pulse of and say, okay, this is how we're going to approach, and of course there's many approaches, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear y'all are partnering with transitioning services
Yes.
and day habs, things like that. So, how can people sign up?
How can people sign up? You can go to tylerredforautism.com.
Link below.
And there is it'll say register. There's 13 different places that you can register. They all lead, it's misleading, they all lead to the same link, but it's right there. Prices are pretty low right now, and so it definitely, they go up as it gets closer
Sure.
to race day. So if you plan ahead, the prices are pretty good right now.
Early bird special.
Yeah, early bird
Yeah.
special. So we definitely hope to see everyone, or if you just want to come and check us out, you don't want to do, if you want a t-shirt, you should do the 1 mile. It's a
Yeah.
yeah.
Just here for the t-shirt.
Yeah, just here with a t-shirt. I think we actually have someone that says that.
That's awesome.
Yes. So, but it is a really good day, and it's somewhere you can bring your kids, bring your family, and I promise you will be amazed and blown away at just how the community comes together
Yes.
to love on kids and love on families.
Yeah, and something you even mentioned to me when we haven't gone yet at that point, you told me that you were like, hey, there's so many people here volunteering who are pros, like RBTs, BCBAs, speech paths, people who do these things for a living or are around these children for a living. So
They understand.
to the family who may have a child who elopes, to the family who may have a child who bring them on,
Bring
because
kids.
not only is it the pros who are there, but you have other families like us who are
Yes.
there who we're looking out for
Yes.
everything. We know how to look out of the corner of our eye for that kid who's eloping, or maybe we understand what's going on when that child is having a meltdown.
Yes, having a hard
So
time.
it's a beautiful thing to have
It is.
that. With that being said, how can people who do have those skills volunteer?
Oh, that's a great. So that is also on our website under volunteers.
Okay.
And so you can go, you can let us know, and Allie will reach out to you and get you plugged in where you need to be. So we always need people cheering on the runners. That's really important. But I always have my vendor area stacked.
Yeah.
So I do. I tell people, bring your kids, and if I don't think we've had a scene, but if there ever was a scene, it would be like it would
Handled.
be fine.
Right.
Yeah, it would be fine. We all live there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. It's fine. It's just the norm there.
So as far as organizations, maybe businesses, wink, wink, who want to pour into this, how can they get involved? Like, how can they?
That is so. Our website, but that will give you a direct link to me, and so that is something that I get to coordinate, and I will definitely pitch you on the heart of how you're helping children. But we also have some really great marketing opportunities. I mean, it's a
really
large,
is.
It really is.
crowd of really great people, and so we definitely have some great marketing packages too, where you can come and be a part of the day, and also get some good exposure.
Yes, it helps to know that places exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when these families see you guys out there supporting them, of course they want to support you back.
Yes. And that that Bubba's 33 is a place where I can take my kid in, and if she grabs French fries off of somebody else's plate, I'm just going to pay for that plate, and Bubba's is going to be like, it's fine. We'll get you over here. We'll get the private room. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go out here. Where are you going to be the most comfortable? So we really have learned that people, like, these are the people who want to be accommodating and who want you in their building.
Yeah.
And for me as a parent, even as a professional, like, I feel so vulnerable every time I take Colin somewhere.
Yes.
I'm just like, don't make eye contact with people. Like, please don't drop on the floor. Don't make a scene.
It's good to know about Bubba's 33. We just got one in our area, and our child tried to use number 1 on a tree outside when everyone was eating. And we're like, not the tree. And, so we get the vulnerability. We get it.
Yes.
We get it.
You never know. But
You
these
just
are
never
the
know.
people who are like, we're going to make it work.
That's awesome.
Don't lick that tree.
Don't
lick that tree.
do it.
So we talked about how people can volunteer, people can join the run, organizations, businesses, wink, wink, once again, to pour into this. And I know you said it serves families in East Texas. Is it just mainly the Tyler area that you serve?
It is. We're still small. I
Sure.
mean, we're growing, but we're still small. And so that's what we have services that we've contracted with here in Tyler.
Yes.
But I mean, wouldn't that be the dream to
Come
have,
on.
Yeah.
like to be able to do that? The families fill out a fax form, and it is with our partnering organizations. I mean, again, still small, still having to keep things up, but and we've had a lot of interest in how to recreate. And we are always so open with our formula, but what it really comes down to is, dedicated parents who want something that, stubborn parents who want something to happen, and then a community who will show up.
That's important.
Yeah, the community showing up. And so this is the way that our community loves our families well. And we are always looking for ways to grow and expand that. So
it was super, super inspiring
It
for us to witness.
It was. We left there like, we're going to do our own
And
podcast.
I was just like, we need this in our town. And to know that you guys, had a humble, small beginning. And I know you still say it's small, but it's had a massive impact on this place and on the families here. So you guys are doing an incredible thing, for sure.
And a couple more things. Your run, if I'm not mistaken, you hire a service to come in and time your runs.
Yes.
So it's a qualifier, right?
Yes.
Like it's a legitimate qualifier for those racers out there. You want to find a spot to go that your money goes to something that's important. Come to this 5K.
Come visit Texas.
Yeah, come to Texas.
Meticulously organized on the run front. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
I've never walked the course. I've never run the hill. The vendor area is my baby, but my fellow board members tell me it's superb. So
Yeah, yeah.
I know that they
Awesome.
have it. That someone asked me the other day, like, "Oh, where does it go?" And I was like,
That way.
"Yeah, around
Yeah.
here."
Turn left a bunch.
Yeah, I'm. We call me the chief begging officer. So,
Love it.
yes.
Somebody has to be.
Yeah. So, a couple more things. What is something that you want people to know the most about
About us.
Tyler?
The Tyler
yeah,
Run. Yeah.
Tyler Run for Autism.
I want them to know that it is a community event. But I think in my heart of hearts, what I want people to know is just the fact that we do help. It's a loaded question. I want them to know that 90% of families who have a child with special needs, the parents divorce. And a lot of that is stress. A lot of it is dad having to, or somebody, a person having to go to work and work really hard because you have $76,000 in medical bills.
Yes.
And $1,500 a week in therapy. And the other person is pouring all in at home and you just feel so disconnected. But finances are such a stress
Yes.
when it comes to families. And so if we can relieve that financial burden,
Even just a little bit.
yes, it's helping the kid get services, again, medications, doctor's appointments, but in its purest form, it's supporting a family. And
Yeah.
it is trying to take that burden off of a primary, financial
Caregiver.
person. And trying to support the family, and a mom knowing that she's going to be able to take her kids to therapy to get the service they need so that they can have just a mom-kid relationship at home. I mean, like, how often are we asked to be advocates and nurses and teachers
Yes.
and
All
the things, the therapist. And so I feel like this helps kids get what they need, and families can just, when they gifted that money to us, when we received that grant, it felt like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, I can imagine.
And now, my husband owns a construction company. We're able to give back to the Run.
Come on.
In all the different ways, but we weren't in that place
Right.
at that time, and we did well.
Yeah.
We were doing well, and thankfully we had the money that was there, but it was just terrifying because it was like, oh, that's everything that we just worked
Hard
2
for-
jobs for 6 years to save up for what we thought was going to be financial stability, and it was just gone.
Not there.
So that I feel like is what the Run did for me, and it's what we hear from our families. We're really protective of our families, and so I know if we would show how cute these kids are and like all the fun things that they're, people would be like throwing, like, you got to do that more. Oh, something I haven't shared. The Run also provides community outings and activities.
Really?
Yeah, for the Monarch and the Treatment and Learning Center, the places that we partner with, we've brought in Creature Teacher for them, Bubble Day, Foam Day.
That's cool.
Yeah, outings to the
love
library.
that.
Yeah, so we do those kinds of things in addition to. So we do set aside a little bit of money for them to get to like live normal things, go to the zoo. Yeah, stuff like that will take that off of parents too, and then they also get to go with someone who can help with their child. So that's really important to us as well.
That's
Anyway,
cool.
so that's what I want them to know about the Run, is just the day, super awesome. But
The other 364 days.
this is what people's money is doing. And they don't get to see it, but I want them to know. Like, if I could tell you the joy that these kids have on their faces.
Yes.
I believe it.
And that the parents experience, and, when they get that, deductible, granted, and, it goes out the door right just like that, but they can breathe.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's not just something that they want. It's something that they genuinely need.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And it is going to make a difference in their future. And
Yes.
so,
For sure. For sure.
Yep. So.
What's on the horizon? What's around the corner for y'all?
I don't know.
No idea.
We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah. We are Southside Bank is definitely helping us kind of spread the message of, again, the heart of what we're about.
Yeah.
Love that.
And so we never know. We never put limits on it. We just
That's good.
pray about it really hard and hope,
Yes.
try to listen to people when they talk to us or have ideas.
Yeah.
But we also, have our formula down. We know.
I was gonna say, you got your rails
Yeah.
you
we
stay
do.
between. Yeah.
we do. And then we just kind of see what
See what
is
it
brought
takes
to
you.
us in between. Yeah.
Well,
Love it.
I say y'all are doing really good.
You are.
You're doing really well,
It is.
and just keep doing what you're doing.
And if you're from a different town or city that has limited resources and you're watching this, take some pointers because this is a huge impact. And I know
Yeah.
you guys have a greater population than some of our cities, but we can all make a difference. And this
Yep.
is proof of that. And
Yep.
so
And that's
yeah.
the premise behind our whole podcast.
Yeah.
You're not an island.
not
You are not
alone.
alone. And if you want to go somewhere physically where you can tell tangibly in the air that you're not alone, you need to come to Tyler
Yes.
Run for Autism. With that being said, we're going to put a post a link down below with the website so people can know when the next one
Yes.
is. You don't happen to know off the top of your head, do you?
April 5th.
April 5th. There you go. April 5th.
Always
April
the first
5th.
weekend in April.
There
Yes.
you go.
Awesome.
April 5th. Be there or be sad because you're going to miss out. I'm telling you right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Check the gallery.
Yeah. It's a really great time. And we really want to see you there. We will be there for
Yes.
sure.
We'll have a crew of people coming to run with us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And they're bringing the kids.
of course.
Yeah, we're bringing the kiddos. So without further ado, we want to thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you for
This
having
is such
us
an
out.
honor. Yes. Thank you for traveling.
Yeah. But without further ado as well, I'm Todd.
I'm Amanda.
And this is Leanne, and we're Not an Island podcast. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.